Council of Trent.
Okay. Hey kids, probably wondering why the Council of Trent happened. And the church was doing many very, very bad things. They were selling jobs and ways into heaven, which were very bad. The church was also being very, very big liars and tattletales, which means they were not being honest. And were doing some not nice things to other people. And then there was a man named Martin Luther. And Martin Luther saw what was going on and he did the right thing. Martin Luther was upset with the church, so he came up with a list of problems, which he called the 95 Theses. And Martin Luther took his problems, which he had with the church, the 95 Theses, and stapled them right to the wall of the church, so everyone could see them. The impact of these theses. Martin Luther caused a huge problem within the church. This problem was not a bad problem, it was a good problem, because it sparked a beginning of change. His 95 Theses were important because it made people think. And they said, hey, we're not being very good, and we should fix our problems. So the important people in the church made some corrections to what they were doing.
Good things happened. Martin Luther's problem made the church realize that they needed to fix what was going on. They had, over the course of 3 years, they had 18 meetings to try and figure out what they had been doing wrong and how to reform the church. Even though it was moving very slowly, it was very, very productive.
So, probably wondering why they call it Trent. The Council of Trent is called Council of Trent because the city took place in a place called Trento, which was, in English, means Trent. And Trent, it is in the northeast corner of Italy.
Trent's meetings and its roots. Pope Paul III, as you can see there on the slide, thought it would be a good idea to host a council to reform what had been going on and what was wrong with the church. And he decided to hold it in Trent because it was a good place to hold a meeting where everyone could get to easily, and it was big enough to hold them all. It was held in the Roman Catholic Church in Trent, and it had 3 main sessions, which led to the changing of the history of the church.
So, what happened? The 3 meetings answered many questions about very important church matters. The Nicene Creed, Old and New Testaments decided on 7 sacraments, thought of the meaning of original sin. And they didn't like Martin Luther's reasons of faith. They also decided on the process of transubstantiation, which is changing the bread and wine into the body and blood of Jesus. In the final council, they decided that the Mass was a give-up. At the end of the councils, the Protestant changed and almost at the end of the councils, the Protestant change had almost fully disappeared and gotten back all the European France. They met to respond to the Protestant Reformation, and they changed disciplinary matters. People who were incompetent, corrupt, could be punished or trained, but did not concede any major doctrinal points.